All right, let's get right into it. While I do have a good group of friends that I play other games with, I find myself playing more as a solo, especially in MW2 2022. With that being said, being a solo player, has its advantages and, of course, disadvantages. One of those disadvantages is getting achievements done. But we're talking about MW2 here, so those things are somewhat limited. I'm not at all, a Warzone type of player. I'm mainly a multiplayer person. I have, however, found that in the vast wilderness of nothing to do, DMZ has caught my attention. I found myself wanting, more out of this game since I dropped, a wad of cash on it, and I don't like to waste money on anything, much like most of you. I started out playing video games solo when Halo Combat Evolved, and perhaps I'm going back to my solo roots. Now, while it is a challenge to do things solo, I find for me, that's what makes games far more interesting. I make videos for fun, but the foundation of my video making stems from wanting to help other players who, like myself, had to look up guides and videos to assist me in getting certain things done in whatever game I was playing. Multiplayer as a solo has plenty of ups and downs. One of the downs is that you never know what you're going to get. It's usually a mixed bag. Objective-based game modes tend to be the most frustrating as other players aren't doing what I might want them to do. Such as hold an area, for the win, and to be truthful, they don't have to. At that point in time, they could be working on their own thing, their own achievements, and I, in my own head, am doing the same. At that point in time, I may just be going for wins over kills or anything else. Right now, I'm on the grind to polyatomic. That's my goal for the rest of this season. I need long shots, so my gameplay is to look for areas on the map that will help me to achieve that. So, I'm also a mixed bag as well. I play in my own party, so I don't have to, be on comms to hear other players, and I have no need to talk smack to other players. In some ways, I am hurting and helping myself. I have dogs, so I don't want to give away my position when they're barking, and odds are I'm listening to something on YouTube to pass the time during the grind. As a solo, you have to suss out what your team is trying to do or is tending to do. You can usually figure out who's teamed up or not based on how they move throughout a match. As a solo, we are acting as mercenaries. We either run with the team or do our own thing. In my experiences so far here in MW2 multiplayer, I have found that I enjoy the challenge of the grind to polyatomic, but there's really not that much to keep me coming back to this playlist in general. Multiplayer has been crafted to be more like the G League to Warzone's NBA, college to the pros. The developers have gone all out to make Warzone the go-to playlist. All that brings me to DMZ. The closest comparison that I have is it's more like Division and Division 2, a PvE, PvP with missions, loot, discoverable items, and extractions. I absolutely loved the Division. When I became tired of Destiny and stopped playing it entirely, I picked up the Division and off I went. It was great as a solo player, but also in a group. I had played Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and that game alone drove me away from COD. To me, if that was going to be the future of COD, I wanted nothing to do with it. I had not played a COD game from then until now with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I watched a lot of gameplay from other content creators, and there was nothing but the same complaints each and every time a new COD was introduced. I saved myself a ton of money. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. You have no idea. But I was tempted, with Black Ops just because of the name, but ultimately I was wrapped up in Destiny 2, and that's where my focus was. In making the best lemonade out of lemons, I actually discovered a mode that could bring me back far more than multiplayer. One of the things that could make DMZ better for me is to get rid of the countdown clock. You already have Warzone 2, so why not make this a better version and something that stands out separately and aside from Warzone 2? Don't get me wrong, DMZ has its own challenges and things that need to be addressed, fixed, and tuned. For me, this mode as a solo player offers enough challenge and things to do so far. That encourages me to come back. I suck at DMZ right now, obviously, because I don't really play it that much and I hadn't played it before, but the challenges are there and that's what I need. So kind of, to wrap things up, how many of you play MW2 solo? How many of you play with a squad? Are you even playing the other modes, like Infected, et cetera, et cetera? What's your experience been like playing this game? Let me know in the comments section. It's your time, and I thank you for sharing it with me. Have a great day.